Go ahead.
Alright, so how many of you guys have seen the movie The Last Samurai? Right, so a decent amount of you. For those of you who haven't, it's about a guy who's played by Tom Cruise, by the way, who is a military advisor that wants to learn the samurai culture after being defeated by them in battle. And the reason why I'm telling you about The Last Samurai is because I feel as though the movie itself shows a lot of tradition and a lot of culture that is related back to Kumdo. So, as you can see in this slide, on the left side, that's the traditional Kumdo uniform that people wear, and it's evident within the movie. You can see the top part that they're wearing right there, and the bottom part, which looks like a dress, but it isn't. It's actually just very baggy pants. And the reason why it's baggy is because it provides the athletes, or back in the day, the warriors, with a lot of maneuverment and easy access to moving around their legs. And this is a picture of the armor that is worn back in the day by samurais and today in Kumdo. And you can see a lot of similarities that has carried over time. As you can see, the body armor is very similar, as is the forearms, the forearm protectors, and also the helmet. So I myself have been doing Kumdo for 7 years now, a bit over 7 years, and I'm a black belt, first degree. So, and I've gained a lot of knowledge throughout time. But what is Kumdo? It basically means the way of the sword, and it originated in Korea and Japan about 2,000 years ago, and it's founded on a strong sense of patriotism and loyalty. So there's a lot of connection to the country and also to family. So I feel as though in Kumdo, the point system is what has carried over a lot throughout history. And just so no one gets confused, the mari is to the head, jirum is to the throat, sunmok is to the wrist, and hari is to the waist. I'm not going to expect you guys to remember that, but I will explain it throughout the presentation. So let's start off with head, or mari. It is the first point that is taught to new Kumdo players to strike. It is also, in my opinion, the easiest way to get a point in sparring. And I feel as though back in history, if you look throughout samurais and warriors and swordsmen, why would you target the head? Because you want to kill someone. You know, it's basically that's it. It's the fastest way to kill someone. It's straight up. And I have a small video to show you how fast you can kill someone. Or, well, I mean how fast 1 second can make a difference. Oh yeah, this is in Japanese, by the way, but there's subtitles, so you'll understand it.
先に一本を取ったのは白の高鍋でした。面のスピードは剣道界随一と言われる高鍋。面の体勢に入ってから決めるまでわずか 0.10 秒。
So as you saw, it only took 0.1, so a tenth of a second to hit this head. So back in the day, that would be the difference of life or death. Obviously today, it's the difference of big defeat. Oh yeah, and by the way, man was head for Japanese. And my next point is sonmok, or the wrist. In my opinion, it's about medium difficulty to strike this in a sparring match, because although you don't need a lot of power, you do need precision and accuracy, because back in the day, it's the equivalent of cutting off an opponent's hand, rendering them defenseless or unable to battle. Next is the hari, or waist. And this is a lot harder to score a point in, I think, in sparring, because it's equivalent to cutting off a person's torso off. And when you cut a person's torso off, what do you need to go through? You need to go through the flesh, you need to go through the bones, and it's, it's the entire body. You want to cut someone in half. It takes a lot of precision and power and accuracy. Therefore, in a lot of sparring matches, judges don't give points to waste easily unless you have those elements. Lastly is Jidong, or the throat. And there are tournaments where people do use this to gain points, but I call it the forbidden technique because you can't learn it until you're black belt. And even then, it's usually very iffy to use it because it can still be dangerous, you can still get injured, although there's protection. And this relates back to history of Kumdo as back in the day when a person would stab someone in the throat and kill them. So I feel as though Kumdo has a lot of history and culture behind it, and it's shown through a lot through the point system, as I mentioned earlier. But I encourage you guys to maybe look into other martial arts if you're interested. Not also Kumdo, but Kung Fu or Taekwondo or kickboxing, and find out the background behind that. And this is just the Kumdo sword that I brought. This is what you use during sparring, and this is the equivalent of a, I guess, katana back in the day.